We got a list. We checked it twice. Welcome back. Ignore this.
It's fine.
We forgot. Hey, what's up? It's me, Michael.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're back. And we're giving you a little special treat. We're going to give you our top 10 winners. And just to be transparent, we both came up with our own lists.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a combo. It's like a little sandwich of our list.
Yes. Some of the people on the list were on both of our lists.
Yes.
And then we had different people on our separate lists. But we molded them together to have what we agree on is a pretty good list. Yeah. So we have 10 to 1 of the top winners of Survivor in our opinions.
Yeah, in our opinions. So don't get mad. It's not your opinion. It's our opinion.
It's mine and ours. One of my honorable mentions, well, I had him on my list, and he's a controversial guy, but Richard Hatch was one of mine because he was the very first winner, season 1 of Survivor. So, in my opinion, he's a good one because he didn't have the advantage of seeing other seasons or seeing how other people had played the game or even really knowing how the game worked, and he still won. He may have made some questionable decisions and did weird things to get there. I think he deserves a little bit of credit for being the first one to figure out how to win.
Yeah, and he set the mold for how everyone wins now.
He was the OG, so therefore I give him some props. I don't really know that I like him as a human being, but that's okay. My other honorable mention is Todd from China, Survivor China. And the reason I picked Todd, and I told you this, is because China was a cluster of a season in general. He was kind of an unlikely dude to win with some like big meat shields. He just had a really strong social game and made some good connections. And in a season that was a hot mess, he came out on top.
2 of mine, I think, are basically cut from the same cloth type winners. Honorable mentions, Tom and Ethan. So they're both played a very like social game built upon like what they do in their community and who they are as a person. So Ethan, for example, he was a soccer player, but he's very empathetic to everybody. Mm-hmm. And he's done like even now after Survivor, he's beat cancer.
Yeah.
And he gives back to his community and people that need help.
Just a good dude.
And that propelled him to a win. And
mm-hmm.
Same with Tom, but Tom had a little evil side to him. And that's what I liked about his win as well. He was able to like convince people to do things. He led one of the most dominant tribes of all time.
Whew.
And it was amazing to watch. And then one more honorable mention I got is Tyson. Just because of how crazy he was and how much he learned what not to do to win. Mm-hmm. So he started off as this real cocky, like sure of himself guy. He knew how to dial that down. And then he got into the right alliances. It's sort of what he tried in Heroes vs. Villains, but he didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
So I liked his win. I'm excited to see him back because he says he's going to go crazy. So let's see.
Number 10.
Number 10. No drum rolls here. Sorry. We don't have the budget.
But
Number 10.
Tony.
His win was chaotic. It's probably the most chaotic win of anybody's.
Spy Shacks, anyone? He literally built like what he called a spy shack, which is just like a little lean-to against a thing, because he was like eavesdropping on people.
And it worked.
Wow. Yeah. Like what?
It's just he's a great player to have.
He's so in it. He's like wants to be there, and he's like, this is so, like, I think he thinks it's really cool.
Yeah.
So he, like, gets, like, really into it, and since he is a police officer in his background, like, he's just very intense about everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes he seems a little crazy and paranoid, but it paid off at least once, so.
At least once. Number 9, we have Denise from Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
The only winner to be at every single tribal in her game.
That's impressive just regardless.
General,
yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. If you make it through all of them,
to survive all of those,
you deserve to win. She used Malcolm as a meat shield for as long as possible, and then just like at the right moment, cut him out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Went with 2 kind of unlikable people at the end. Her job in real life is a therapist. So she knows how to analyze and answer stuff the right way.
Just listen to people.
Yeah.
So she was good, yeah.
A dangerous winner to come back.
Yes.
Earl. So Earl, if you don't know, he's one of the old school. I can't talk today. Old school. He's from one of the old school seasons.
We got it.
He used a similar strategy as Denise, where she used Malcolm. He used Yowman
As a shield.
And it wasn't a meat shield. It
No.
was an intelligence.
But
shield.
I do want to show the meat shield
Oh yeah.
and the goat shield.
Oh yes. Well, those will come back up. Don't worry. He used Yowman as a perfect shield, and just the right time moved out from behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But Earl knew what to say to everybody at the right moment, and he knew when and how to do things, and it just seemed like he understood everybody in the game. And that's really hard to do as a winner. Like even some of the winners in the top 10, like Boston Rob's in our top 10. You know that. But Boston Rob struggled in some seasons with trying to figure out what people were doing.
Yeah.
But Earl knew it off the bat.
He's not a villain. He's not out there stabbing people in the back. But he's just being very intuitive.
Yeah.
And listening and thinking through things.
Speaking of intuitive, number 7, Cochran.
Cochran! I love Cochran so much. Cochran is, I think, the underdog of all underdogs. I think he was one of the most underestimated people just from looking at him. Like he's this little, like I said, he's a little pasty ginger boy with glasses. And one of my favorite Survivor moments ever is him getting Jeff to call him Cochran. Because he says, he makes a point to Jeff that Jeff always calls his favorite players by their last name. And he's like, so I would be honored if that was me. And then for the rest of the time he's ever been on Survivor, he's been Cochran. And he came back and he won the fans versus favorites.
He politicked, basically.
Yeah.
His strategy is politicking. It's
Yeah.
like telling people, I'll do this for this.
Yeah.
I'll get you here. With Don, he had played with previously and was like, I'll take you to the end.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. And he did.
He also had a couple of really good challenge wins.
Yeah,
Like he
surprising.
surprised kind of close to the end there. He won I think 2 really big immunity challenges.
Yeah,
with some puzzles and stuff.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah. So he just had some good timing.
So we got number 6, Yule. Speaking of someone who did some politicking.
Yeah.
Yule used his super idol and politicked the heck out of that season. He convinced Penner to do so many things that Penner shouldn't have done. You got to remember, this is a season with Parvati, Penner, Ozzy,
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Oh my god.
But Yule was playing against these strong people that ended up playing more seasons and got stronger as players as they went on. And so, but Yule was very analytical, very political about...
Incredibly talented. I mean, incredibly intelligent. And the way he used his intelligence, he could, like a chess player, he could see 8 days down the road of this is where I want to be on this day.
Yeah.
And these are all the things I have to do to get, and this is what I need to get all these people to do. He could think about all those things at once.
Number 5,
Boston Rob. Boston Rob.
This dude can talk to anybody and make them fall in love
He's
with him.
so charming. He's just so charming. I mean, that's how he found his freaking wife on Survivor.
Yeah. I mean, that's how he got Natalie Anderson and Philip to listen to him and do whatever he wanted.
Yeah. He is an idol of this game. He is a master of the social aspect of this game. The ways he makes relationships with people and makes them feel so important, whether or not they are, he can make anyone feel like they are his number one, his ride or die, and he can manipulate that.
Yeah, and he's like a perfect example of the Godfather strategy.
Oh, yeah.
It's you get your people.
You all come to me.
You come to me.
We're here. You're safe. We're family.
But then he'll also cut you.
He comes in from the jump I am the Godfather. Hello, I'm Boston Rob. You know who I am.
Yeah.
And in Winners at War, none of these people need a leader.
No.
They want to all be the leader.
So his only best chance is to be a meat shield.
A meat shield.
Meat shield. Number 4, Natalie Anderson.
Love her.
Just a great manipulator.
Oh yeah.
And it's a way of manipulation that you don't realize is being manipulated. So she manipulated Jacqueline and Keith so well that season.
I watched her and her sister compete on Amazing Race, and they are loud and obnoxious and in your face and annoying. They're just, that's the way they are. And Natalie's twinnie, got voted off first. Everyone else was worried about their significant others, and Natalie didn't have to worry about that. She was just playing for her from the beginning. So, but I like because she can come off real strong and real hot, real fast, and she
quieted that part of her personality down
mm-hmm.
and found people that she could trust and manipulated them to do her things. And she has one of the most iconic tribal moments where she asked Jacqueline, it's like, did you vote for who I said you voted for? And to do that in front of the jury, that's baller. Number 3, we got Parvati, one of the most dangerous winners of all time.
Seriously.
Literally, just one group of women has scared every person ever of women alliances, and it's because of Parvati's amazing gameplay.
Black Widows. To this day, people are scared of girl alliances, which on one hand is annoying, but on the other hand is impressive.
Yeah.
They proved how powerful
Yeah.
they can be if they band together. I mean, then they eventually had to turn on each other because...
Yeah, it was dangerous, but at the same time, it's because Parvati and Suri were together,
mm-hmm.
and they are 2 of the best players ever.
Yeah.
And they gaslighted Eric so hard into giving up his immunity.
Just to speak to Parvati's other strength that she uses, she is gorgeous,
mm-hmm.
and people get hearts in their eyes when they stare at her. And to her credit, she's like, yeah, okay, I can use that. Mm-hmm. And she has that little flirting, kind of thing that she can pull off to get things done sometimes.
Here's how great it is. She allowed Russell Hantz to be near her, and she flirted with him to tie him around her finger.
Yeah.
And brought him to the end. If our number 1 wasn't number 1,
right,
she would have won that season.
Yeah.
Because of the way she just played Russell to do whatever she wanted. And granted, Russell did do some things that he wanted.
Yeah.
Which also ruined his game. But Parvati is just an amazing player who is multifaceted. She doesn't always have to flirt.
No.
Speaking of hot, number 2, Jeremy.
Hot because he's a firefighter, right?
Yeah. He's also from Massachusetts, so
yeah,
all of us in Massachusetts, we all have a heart for each other. But I love Jeremy because he used game theory in Survivor
mm-hmm.
without knowing that he did it. And now it's like his bread and butter.
Yeah.
Which is the meat shield, goat shield, any kind of shield.
Right.
Jeremy is like, well, I got to get these people that I know that are smarter or stronger than me and use them to hide behind them for as long as possible because dude's jacked.
Oh yeah.
He's ripped.
He's a firefighter.
Yeah.
And he can look intimidating and you're like, he is a threat.
Yeah.
And that didn't really come into play because he was being so smart.
Exactly. And he was only winning challenges when he needed to win them, not like Joe just to win him because he could.
I'm going to be happy to see him in this season. Just also because he's like not like a cool, nice dude. He's like funny. He's just like a good guy. So
it's his first season without Keith though, so we'll see. He needs his Keith. Hopefully there's someone as stupid as Keith.
Stick to the plan.
And number 1, drum roll, Sandra.
Duh. She's won twice, guys.
Yeah. She's number 1.
No one's ever done that.
Yeah.
It's just her.
She makes these subtle moves that no one knows she's making, like telling Russell that Coach is going after him.
Yeah.
When Coach wasn't even targeting him.
Yeah.
Or eating sugar so JT and Michaela can fight each other and then blindside JT.
Eating sugar out of a jar.
Just things like that. Like
it's little things where she'll just like, offhand mention to somebody that something that's probably not true. But then they go crazy and then they start talking to other people and then Sandra doesn't have to do anything. She just can go take a nap.
Yeah.
And everything implodes around her and then she wins.
And no one ever pins it back on Sandra either because she brings this air of trustworthiness because she is a trustworthy person.
She is the queen.
The queen stays queen. Adios. Next week, I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm so excited. It's bringing back some of my favorite castaways.
The 40th season of Survivor. That's just impressive just in general too. So
yeah, there's so many people that we didn't even talk about. You got Sarah.
Yeah.
You got Kim. You got all kinds of people that have played very different games. Some better than others.
And the prize money is double.
Woo!
Which they say it's the biggest $2 million. That's the biggest single prize in one reality show history. Game has changed since some of these people have played.
And you got, sorry, I threw that away. You have Edge of Extinction.
You have Edge of Extinction.
You have fire tokens, which I don't even know what those are yet.
It's some kind of money. I don't know.
They're going to have immunity idols.
Yeah.
They're going to have challenges. You can have twists. They're going to throw everything at you. And you
Yeah.
got to be ready for it. Yeah. Catch us next week.
Finger guns.
We'll be here. Bye.
Bye.